Well, after a busy work week, the weekend is finally here and hope you're ready to enjoy it as well. But in the meantime, bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world. It's your national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Natalia Viravardhana. First, it's time to take a look at the headlines for tonight. Former Director General of the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, Anusha Palpita, remanded until 6th of February. Health Minister requests the GMOA not to go on strike unjustifiably, compromising the lives of patients. Rebuilding Sri Lanka Fund has received 8.5 billion rupees so far. Cropix system for a digital agriculture launched. Operations of the third stage of the Eastern Container Terminal commenced. An increase in internet-related frauds. Users cautioned to be on alert. Tripartite negotiations to end Ukraine war in United Arab Emirates. Getting into the stories in detail, the Colombo Magistrates Court ordered today to keep in remand custody until 6th of February Anusha Palpita, former Director General of the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka.
Now, he has been accused of acquiring assets to the tune of 46 million rupees illegally. The order was issued by Colombo Chief Magistrate Asanka S. Bodragama, the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, taking the suspect into custody and presenting him before the court, stated that the investigation has been initiated as per a complaint received in March 2015. Investigations have revealed that the suspect has acquired assets of 46 million rupees, exceeding his legal income during the period of 31st March 2012 to 31st March 2014. Officials of the Commission mentioned that the suspect has not clarified the manner in which a sum of 11 million rupees has been earned, and added that he has stated that he had received the amount from a sister of his wife and a brother. Although the concerned sister, when inquired, stated that the suspect was given the concerned money after the sale of a plot of land, she has refused to state the location of the sold land. The official of the Bribery Commission stated that he also failed to clarify as to how the brother provided money to him. Attorney at law Kanchana Ratwatta, appearing on behalf of the suspect, requested him to be released on bail. After considering the facts presented by both parties, the magistrate observed that the Bribery Commission has stated that the suspect has evaded providing necessary information for investigations. A case filed by the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption was taken up for hearing in the presence of the Colombo Chief Magistrate Asanka S. Bodragama against former Minister Chamara Sampath Dasanayake in the Colombo High Court, who had filed an indictment. After completing the processes and the proceedings of the case before the Magistrate Court, the Magistrate ordered Chamara Sampath Dasanayake to appear in court once he receives a notice. He has been accused of causing a loss of more than 17.3 million rupees to the government by withdrawing 6 fixed deposits before maturity in the National Savings Bank belonging to the Provincial Council when he was a Chief Minister of Uva Province in 2016.
The Government Medical Officers Association says that a 48-hour token strike is effective in government hospitals island-wide since this morning. The association stated that the strike does not affect the services at the maternity and children's, kidney and cancer hospitals. The strike is underway based on several demands. Our correspondent stated that people who came to government hospitals for treatments faced immense difficulties due to this trade union action. However, the strike has not been implemented in some hospitals. People stated that treatment services at the Hinkuragoda Base Hospital in Polonnaruwa were carried out as usual. Medical Specialists Association says that its members have not extended their support to the strike. Secretary to the Association, Specialist Dr. R. Gnanasekaram, said that the Specialist Doctors Association will not participate in the strikes. He explained that the GMOA's primary demand is for the government to provide a solution to a long-standing issue regarding specialist doctors, but they are striking against the service minutes being proposed to address that very issue. For this reason, the association opposes the strike and will not take part. Specialist Dr. Ashoka Gunaratna, media spokesman of the association, emphasizes that specialist doctors require their own specific service minutes. While the government is currently working on this, the GMO's strike action is viewed by the association as an effort against the specialists' demands.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa told the Parliament today that the Government Medical Officers Association's attempt to stage unreasonable strikes taking patients as hostages is vehemently condemned. Now, the minister requests all the medical officers to prevent from engaging in unjust strikes causing dangers to the lives of patients. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa delivered a sharp critique of the Government Medical Officers Association, accusing the union of prioritising the interests of a few long-standing members over the welfare of the public and the broader medical community. The minister highlighted 3 specific instances where industrial action caused significant disruption. A strike lasting 6.5 days was triggered by the transfer of 2 doctors. One had been stationed at the facility for 18 years, while the other had served there since 2021. The services were crippled for over 8 days from January 13 to 22nd following a union demand to transfer a medical administrator. Despite having 125 doctors for 121 positions, an unexpected strike occurred after 2 transfers. One affected doctor had been at the post since 2018 and the other, a member of the GMOA Executive Council, had remained there since 2013. The minister noted that the hospital director only proceeded with the eye hospital transfers after specialists confirmed patient care would not be compromised. However, the Ministry of Health eventually suspended the transfers to prevent further hardship for patients travelling from rural areas. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa drew a stark contrast between these privileged members and the thousands of doctors serving in difficult rural stations. He pointed out the inherent unfairness of the GMOA striking to protect individuals who have held the same post for 13 to 18 years, while other doctors are unable to secure transfers even after 4 to 6 years in remote locations. Beyond transfer disputes, the minister condemned the union's timing and tactics. He argued that despite recent salary increases, the union continues to make unreasonable economic demands. The country is still navigating a fragile economy from natural disasters and a severe economic crisis. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa accused the GMOA of holding patients hostage through week-long strikes, questioning them of morality of such actions and the opposition's support for them.
More than 8.5 billion rupees of donations has been received for the Rebuilding Sri Lanka Fund. Secretary of the Ministry of Finance Dr. Harshana Suryaparama says that the amount received from foreign countries has been $9.49 million. Secretary of the Ministry of Finance Dr. Harshana Suryaparama said that the total amount of funds received to date has exceeded 8.5 billion rupees. This figure includes donations and funds from foreign countries, with the total value of foreign currency contributions alone surpassing $9.49 million. Largest portion of these funds has come from the United States, exceeding 1 billion rupees to date. He added that funds have been received from a total of 47 countries. Accordingly, the total value of goods received by customs as part of this effort has exceeded 2.3 billion rupees.
රටවල් 47කින් මේ දක්වා මුදල් ලැබී තිබෙනවා. මේ දක්වා රේගුවට ලැබුණු භාණ්ඩවල සමස්ත වටිනාකම රුපියල් බිලියන 2.3 ඉක්මවා ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
The government has taken steps to rebuild the livelihoods of the disaster affected and to provide concessions to businesses. Accordingly, a one-time payment will be provided in order to convert the stalled business due to the disaster to a stage fit to restart it. According to the Ministry of Finance, an amount of 200,000 rupees per unit for single, small and micro businesses registered in the Ministry of Industries and business registered in the Divisional Secretariat Office will be provided. A sum of 5 million rupees each for a unit not registered and maintained in a permanent building domestically and unregistered production industries and greenhouses. In addition, a sum of 25,000 rupees per unit for pavement, mobile and temporary business will also be provided. In case a beneficiary qualifies for several of the above-mentioned allowances, the entitlement will be granted only for an allowance in one of those categories. The payment will be carried out by the Divisional Secretariat offices according to the Ministry of Finance. A day's salary of the members of the Department of Civil Defence, a sum of more than 40 million rupees, has been donated to the Rebuilding Sri Lanka Fund. The cheque to this effect has been handed over to the President Secretary, Dr. Nandika Sanat Kumar Nayaka, by the District Office of the Department, GYB Pereira, yesterday. DFCC Bank also has contributed with a sum of 50 million rupees to the Rebuilding Sri Lanka Fund. The cheque was handed over by the Chief Executive Office of the bank, Thimal Pereira, to the Senior Additional Secretary to the President Russell Aponzo at the President's office recently. A group of Sri Lankans living in England have donated a sum of more than 2.5 million rupees earned through a food sale program to the Rebuilding Sri Lanka Fund. The amount has been handed over to the High Commission of Sri Lanka in Britain, Nimal Senadira, and Brigadier Dilantha Fernando.
Operations of the third stage of the Eastern Container Terminal of Sri Lanka Ports Authority commenced today. This will be a turning point in the government's program to develop Colombo Harbour. With this, the status of the Colombo Harbour will be further enhanced as the foremost re-export centre in the South Asian region. Operations of the third stage of the Eastern Container Terminal commenced with the participation of the chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, retired Admiral Sirimevan Ranasinghe, and a group of officials. With the completion of the construction of this stage of the Eastern Container Terminal, construction of 1,090 meters of the total length of 1,300 meters of the terminal will be completed. In addition, 82% of the remaining activities of the project has also been completed by now. With the opening of the third stage of the Eastern Container Terminal, operations of the 3 container ships can be handled in the terminal. Signifying the inauguration of the third stage of the terminal, a container ship arrived at the terminal. More than 500,000 container operations have been successfully handled in the Eastern Container Terminal during last year. With the opening of the new terminal section, more than 1.5 million container operations are expected to be conducted from the Eastern Container Terminal this year.
Symbol of confidence in Sri Lanka's strategic location, confidence in our port, professional and confidence in our ability to deliver world-class port services. As we commence operation today, our focus must now be on operational excellence, safety and sustainability, productivity and utilization, strong partnership with shipping lines and stakeholders.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya returned to the island this morning after successfully concluding her visit to the 2026 World Economic Forum. The forum was held from the 19th to the 22nd of this month in Davos, Switzerland. During this official visit, the Prime Minister held extensive discussions with world leaders, heads of international financial institutions and the business community regarding the strengthening of Sri Lanka's future economic activities. A highlight of the tour was the Prime Minister's discussions on the country's financial stability with the Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, and the President of the Asian Development Bank, Masato Kanda. Dr. Harini Amarasuriya also met with the President of Singapore, the President of the European Commission and the Administrator of the United Nations Development Programme, Alexander De Croo, successfully further solidifying global confidence in Sri Lanka. The Prime Minister delivered a special keynote address at the World Women Davos Agenda 2026 and participated in high-level panel discussions concerning the employment crisis in emerging markets and global skill development. She also engaged in a high-level dialogue at the Global Tourism Forum, where she worked to promote the future vision of Sri Lanka's tourism sector. With the aim of expanding investment opportunities, the Prime Minister joined discussions with the Swiss business community and heads of international corporations, including AP Moller-Maersk. She also met with expatriate entrepreneurs living in Switzerland to discuss their contribution towards Sri Lanka's development. Through this successful diplomatic mission, the Sri Lankan delegation has been able to establish new avenues of international cooperation for the country's future development programs. Accompanying the Prime Minister on this visit was the Minister of Labour and Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Anil Shantha Fernando, among others.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says the exclusion of women from decision-making structurally maintained through gendered power hierarchies, and addressing these barriers requires transforming institutions to create environments where women can lead with confidence. She was speaking at the World Women Davos Agenda 2026 on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, where she stressed the need to transform institutions to enable women to lead with confidence.
in a transformative role. People may not shift structures, but also, even when you intend to do so, it doesn't always necessarily mean that you can bring stakeholders along. And even if you have a shared vision, and especially if there's a unique moment in time for your country, are there any lessons that you've learned around coming into this position? Change is very difficult. New leadership dynamics and new leadership types are very difficult. Is there one or two lessons you've learned on bringing other stakeholders along or bringing consensus from those who may have seen that sort of your being in power is somehow either taking away or antithetical to what they see as important?
Yes, I think two things. One is that the reason why I am in this position today, and also why my peers are in Parliament today, is that we consciously really mobilized at the grassroots level. I think there's this tendency to ignore grassroots work now, the importance of really building alliances and bringing people along with you, bringing your constituents along with you on this path and on this journey. And I think we really put in a lot of effort into that, and that's one of the reasons why we are where we are and why we can also raise a voice and be heard and be acknowledged and be supported. But at the other time, I think your question is specifically about how you speak to those who disagree with you and how you deal with your opponents or people who may, or even within our own party, who don't necessarily always understand what feminist leadership is about. But I think that their patience is important. Incremental steps are important, listening to each other, and I think acknowledging that these kinds of fundamental social transformations take time and a lot of work, and you can't sort of bulldoze your way through. You have to take people along with you, and that these changes are not one in one sector or the other. It's not just cultural, it's not just economic, it's not just political. It's all of these, right? And that takes time. So you really need to be able to put in that work and understand that you may be only playing one part of that role, and you have to make sure that there are others to take over and carry on, because this is a journey.
Police say that various persons are engaging in numerous frauds and rackets through internet, and there is a rapid increase in such fraudulent activities. Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team informs the public to be vigilant on such rackets conducted through internet.
Majority of the complaints received by the Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team are relating to fake accounts, hacked accounts and financial frauds conducted through social media network.
If you ever become a part of a cybercrime, this is the place you should go, SLCert. Today joining me is Mr. Charuka Damunupola, the lead engineer of SLCert. Mr. Damunupola, what is this SLCert we are talking about?
Yes, Sri Lanka CERT, which is acronym for Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team, currently serving under Ministry of Digital Economy. So main mandate to establish Sri Lanka CERT is to protect the citizens of Sri Lanka in terms of information security and providing cybersecurity awareness services. So in terms of our main purpose is to secure and act as a focal point for reporting cybersecurity incident in Sri Lanka.
Cyber fraud cases are increasing rapidly in the country right now. So from your experience, what are the most common scams affecting the public right now?
If you talk about the online reporting incidents, mainly we see a rise in cybersecurity related incidents, especially the online scam or frauds. In terms of special categories under these online scams, one is the OTP related scams, and also social media account takeovers, or we call as hacking incidents, and also a few cases related to some other information related cases like harassments and with the use of sexual violence against women and child cases also reported under these last year reported incidents.
So we spoke about sex abuse and OTP scams and social media account hacking. So as public, what are the key steps people should follow to protect themselves from getting scammed?
So in order to protect your online accounts and in order to how to secure your online digital assets, the main concern is as a users, you need to aware of what not to share and what to share. In terms of your personal information, such as your full name, your date of birth, or it can be your mobile number, or it can be your NIC numbers. So most of these scammers will use or lure you into some sort of traps just using these special messages. So time to time these messages can be changed. So in such cases you need to be very careful of what you are sharing, and also when you are using social media, please be careful of what you are sharing.
If someone becomes a part of a cybercrime, what should they do, and what is the role of SLCert in that case?
So in terms of any scam, legally Sri Lanka police have the mandate to investigate on behalf of you in order to carry on if you want to have a legal actions against this online scam. So in that case you can reach the nearest police station in order to get assistance. And if you are a victim of any sexual violence related incident, and especially if it is underage child or even a woman, you can always contact Women and Child Bureau and also National Child Protection Authority. And if you need any technical assistance on any related cyber incident, you can contact Sri Lanka CERT.
So now we know, if you ever become a victim of a cybercrime, this is the place. Signing off for today, we are from Sri Lanka Rupavahini from Sri Lanka CERT.
With that, we move into a short break and we'll bring you more local stories right after this.
Prima Stella, අපි හැමෝම කැමති.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
And we are back with more local stories. Cropix, the national digital platform for crop data and decision making, was officially launched in Colombo yesterday.
Now, this digital platform has been introduced for a database digital agriculture. The function to launch the Cropix system was held under the leadership of the Minister of Agriculture, Livestock, Land and Irrigation, K.D. Lalkantha, and Deputy Minister of Digital Economy, Arangavira Ratna. Agri-entrepreneurship, physical framework, agri-inter-operations and exchange of feasibility framework data will be implemented via this digital platform. The program is jointly implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Lands and Irrigation and the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. Agriculture management, modernization, service provision and development, and strengthening the decision-making based on evidence is the objective of this project.
An exposition of sacred relics of Lord Buddha will be held from the 4th to the 11th of February at the Gangarama Temple in Hunupitiya. A media briefing in this connection was held at the Government Information Department today. Chief incumbent of the Hunupitiya Gangarama Viharaya, Venerable Dr. Kirindeyasa Jitero, stated that it is a truly meritorious and blessed moment to have the opportunity to pay homage to the sacred relics of Lord Buddha. The Thera mentioned that a large number of devotees from Colombo are expected to arrive to worship the relics. The Venerable Thera emphasized that their responsibility is to provide the necessary basic facilities and ensure an opportunity for people to pay their respects peacefully. The Thera further explained that these relics discovered by Indian archaeologists during excavations at the historic Devnimori archaeological site were identified as sacred relics of Lord Buddha. Having been preserved in an Indian museum for a long period, this marks the first time they are being brought to a foreign country for public veneration. Minister Dr. Hiniduma Sunil Senavi emphasized that it is their collective responsibility to ensure this grand event is well organized. He noted that careful attention has been given to all aspects, including security, electricity, water and sanitation. He expressed that the event is being organized with great responsibility and invited the public to make the most of this rare opportunity.
It is the first time that this relic exposition is happening anywhere outside India. Inscription in Brahmi script and in Sanskrit language, which says Desh Bala Sharira Nilay, which means the abode of the body relic of Lord Buddha. I must say that we are very, very happy and blessed to have this opportunity. So this is for the people of Sri Lanka. This is for the people who value the teachings of Lord Buddha and the values that are so relevant in today's world.
And now, Noor Elia reminds us of a cold climate.
It has become an extremely cold weather these days. According to reports, frosty climate is being continued further in Norelia. Meanwhile, showers are expected in at times in the northern, north central, eastern and northwestern provinces as well as in Matale and Norelia districts. Fairly heavy rainfall exceeding 50 millimeters is likely in parts of the northern and north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee district as well. Now the public is advised to take necessary precautions against possible strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. You can now view the rugged lake premises and the racecourse area in Norelia. Today, the temperature in Norelia has been recorded as 9 degrees Celsius. Frost can be observed these days around the racecourse area, Gregory Lake and other locations. These sites add a unique appearance to the area. Norelia and surrounding areas has become a paradise for local and foreign tourists who like to enjoy the cold weather conditions. Approach roads to Norelia also have been restored post-disaster situation.
The Colombo Stock Exchange ended today's trading positively. The all-share price index closed at 23,956.51 after rising by 142.74 points, which represents a 0.6% change. The S&P SL20 index closed at 6,649.5, up by 31.65 points and 0.48%. Total market capitalization at the close of trading stood at 8.547 trillion rupees. Market turnover for the day amounted to 10.5 billion rupees with 258.94 million shares traded. We are now taking a short break and we'll bring you foreign news right after this.
Prima Stella. අපි හැමෝම කැමති.
In your foreign news, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky states that the tri-party talks regarding the ending of the Ukrainian war are scheduled to be held in the United Arab Emirates involving Russia and the United States.
He made this statement following discussions held with US President Donald Trump. Discussions between the US President and the Ukrainian President took place during the World Economic Forum held in Davos, Switzerland. The Ukrainian President mentioned that they were able to achieve a certain level of success there. During the tripartite talks scheduled to be held in the United Arab Emirates, the President stated that they expect to focus heavily on the situation in the Donbas region of eastern Ukraine. Addressing journalists at the World Economic Forum in Davos, President Zelensky stated that all conflicts are territory-based and that it remains an unresolved issue. He further remarked here the Russians must be prepared not only for war, but also for compromises. Following the discussions between the American and Ukrainian presidents, President Trump told reporters that he believes the Russian and Ukrainian leaders will agree to reach a deal. He also noted that he would support such an effort. Meanwhile, U.S. Middle East peace envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner have departed for Russia. Foreign media reports that they are scheduled to hold discussions with Russian President Vladimir Putin there.
Now, the winners' trophy of the T20 World Cup cricket tournament was displayed to the media today at the SSC Cricket Stadium in Colombo. The World Cup T20 cricket tournament is being held in Sri Lanka after 14 years. The trophy of the winners of the tournament was brought to Sri Lanka on the 21st of this month. The tournament is jointly being co-hosted by Sri Lanka and India. The trophy was displayed to the media at the SSC Cricket Stadium in Colombo with the participation of T20 captain Dasun Shanaka and pacer Matisha Patirna. Cricket fans will be able to pose for photographs with the trophy tomorrow. Accordingly, the T20 World Cup trophy is due to be taken to the Havelock City Shopping Complex at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Meanwhile, Sri Lanka won the first match of the England-Sri Lanka One-Day International Series by 19 runs. The match was played at the R. Premadas International Cricket Stadium, Colombo, yesterday. Sri Lanka opted to bat first after winning the toss. Accordingly, they posted a total of 271 runs, losing 6 wickets in their 50 overs. Kusal Mendis scored 93 runs not out, which was also his 35th half-century in ODI career. Janith Liyanage contributed with 46 runs. Dunith Wellalage scored a brisk 25 runs in 12 balls. In bowling, Adil Rashid claimed 3 wickets. Chasing a target of 272 runs, England were all out for 252 runs in 49.2 overs. Ben Tuckett scored 62, while Joe Root contributed with a fine knock of 61 runs. Jamie Overton scored 34 runs in 17 balls. In bowling from Sri Lanka, Pramod Madushan claimed 3 wickets, while Jeffrey Van der Zee and Dunith Wellalage captured 2 scalps each. Dunith Wellalage, who displayed skills in all the 3 departments of the game, was declared the player of the match. The next match of the ODI series of 3 matches between the 2 countries will be played at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow at the R. Premadasa International Cricket Stadium in Colombo.
Well, that was a look at the news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira together with Natalia Virawardana. Wish you a pleasant evening and a wonderful weekend.